I don't know if it's streaming. I'm coming back to YouTube again. My name is Eduardo Rodriguez here from the island of Puerto Rico to inform what's happening in the neighboring island of our brothers in Cuba. I hope you can see me a little bit better. The lack of funds and my stream is a little bit poor, but I'm gonna have to go with that because I'm not a rich person, and so here we go. Back to YouTube again. I was in Rumble, but Rumble platform, yeah, I mean, it's terrible. I just lost a videotape in there. I don't know what happened to it. So here I go. Here I go. Let me see. Wait a minute. Okay, it's live. Well, let me go what's happening in Cuba and the neighboring island of our brothers who are suffering under what many people are trying to impose in the United States, like Joe Biden, under socialism. So let me start off with the first one here. This is from Un Paco, and it's presented by Silverio Portal Contreras. I'm going to show you a videotape, and I hope I'm not. I'm going to be very short because they'll accuse me of stealing the rights. I hope not. I'm going to go as short as possible. See if I can silence this videotape. I hope it comes out silent. This is a situation in Cuba. Let me see if I can. This trash, and according to Silverio Portal, is a source of microbes, dangerous microbes, near a hotel area in Cuba. There you go. There you go. That's the conditions of living under socialism. And the city or the regime don't have not the resources. It's just that they don't care. They're not putting anybody or people to clean these places. And it's near a hotel, according to the sources of what I've heard here, is a five-star hotel. And next to the hotel, an unhealthy situation, unsanitary situation there, near the hotel. Well, let me go to the next videotape here. This is from Un Paco, this source that I got. So let me go to the next one. Okay, this is from Un Paco also. This is from Dr. Nelva, Dr. Nelva Ismaray Ortega Tamayo, the wife of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia. She had her seventh visit to the prison where her husband's at. He's a political prisoner. He is the leader of Un Paco, and he's in prison, even though he's innocent. The only penalty or the charge, the crime he has committed is speaking freely for the freedom of his people and the rights of his people. But hey, that's the condition of socialism. You don't have no rights whatsoever. Let me show you the videotape here of his wife speaking. There you go. She's a doctor, and she's speaking about a visit to the prison. I'm not going to show the whole thing because then, I say, I'm going to be penalized or blocked or accused of stealing rights. So I just want to show a very short tape of that. And that was the wife that I just showed. And she's fighting for the freedom of her husband. So let me go to the next one here. In Buenos Aires, Argentina, an activist has shown 200 posters displayed 200 posters in favor of the political prisoners. I couldn't find a photo in Google's images of this display. It's in a videotape, but like I say, I can't show it because they're going to accuse me of a violation of rights of the author. So I'm going to leave it right there. I just posted a small a photo of a person behind the prison bars in Cuba, and that's it. So let me go to the next one here. There's a film. There's a film showing the two Cubas, one for the elite or the tourists, and one the condition of the regular people of Cuba living under terrible conditions, which is what the socialists do offer the people of Cuba, the common people. The tourists, they treat them like gold, but then the money doesn't go to fix the hospitals, the transportation system, and many other conditions. The lack of food and medication. The bodegas over there are terrible, horrible. After the revolution, after 64 years, I hope I'm not mistaken, of socialism. The situation over there is terrible. I mean, it's a total nightmare. Living under socialism is a total nightmare. And it's the situation that the Democrats want to, the so-called Democrats, or used to be Democrat Party, which is now a Socialist Party, wants to impose upon us. And if you don't believe me, it's not a socialist country. Socialists or trying to impose socialism upon us. Just see the people they have in key positions, including people who wants the annihilation of Israel, the state of Israel. I'm talking about Muslims, the Muslim group, and communists. They're also supporting. They're all in support of the annihilation of Israel. They support evil. That's them. And terrorists. So let me go to the next one here. This came out of Universo Increíble, which translated in English would be Incredible Universe. So let me go to the last one here. This is from Paco. Demonstration in front of the hideout of the communist Castro Canel dictatorship in Uruguay. They hide themselves and they won't show their faces in this embassy in Uruguay. Let me show you the video here. I'm going to show you just a short moment of the video where they're protesting in front of the embassy of the Cuban the communist dictatorship, and you have Cubans protesting in front of it, requesting the freedom of political prisoners. They're in front of the embassy, requesting that these people, that representatives, come out, show their face, and speak about the situation. Why they don't stop it? And these Cuban protesters, they're requesting stop the crisis, indicating that the communists are the one that are the responsible and guilty of the blockade. It's not the United States, neither the Cuban protesters. It's the dictatorship, it's socialism, which is causing the blockade against the people of Cuba. Because if this ain't true, then why China had to open up the free marketing, and now they're an economic superpower? That's all you have to see. Why Taiwan and let me see this other country, Taiwan and Israel, which are very tiny countries compared to even to Cuba, very small, are progressive and booming in their economy. And Cuba, which is a bigger country, well, let me call it an island, a bigger island compared to these small states, the economy is destroyed. Why? Look at the difference. Look at Cuba. Just watch these videotapes on Cuba before Fidel Castro, before 1959, and you're going to see the difference after, how it went deteriorating until it's completely destroyed. Cuba's no more. Before it, Cuba was abundant and the economy of booming. They had everything. They had department stores. They had, I mean, Cuba, to visit Cuba was great in that moment, in that time. Buses every 10 minutes. People could rely on the buses to go to their jobs because it passed by every 10 minutes. The transportation was phenomenal and great compared to now, where people have to wait more than probably an hour, or they decide to just walk because they can't depend on the transportation system, which has deteriorated to the form where people in the mountains of Cuba have to use what they call a chibichana. Chibichana is what the kids used to make, these scooters out of wood that the kids used to make, but even worse, in worse situation, at least in those, these kids, I remember when I was a kid, would make out of wood scooters. Over there's just rustic, simple type of scooters. And you even see a doctor mounted on one of these chibichanas going down the mountains in one of them. I mean, these are made of wood. I mean, the kids used to make. That's what they use in the mountains of Cuba in order to combat the crisis situation of the transportation system in the countryside of these mountains, where people don't have no other choice. I'm talking about a doctor, a female doctor, mounted on one of these chibichanas, going down which, I mean, they don't have no gasoline, no nothing. I mean, just a simple type wooden toy type scooter that the kids used to make. That's what they use, and that's transportation. You ought to see it. Just go to YouTube and write down what you want to search for. Put down Chibichana, and you're going to see I'm not lying. Look, this is going to be it for today. God bless my country eternally. I stand with God and Israel eternally. And I pray to see Cuba and Venezuela, Nicaragua, North Korea, and China free from this nightmarish repressive system called socialism. So see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Bye-bye.